I just spent 3 days in Phnom Penh, Cambodia's sweltering, noisy, chaotic capital. Although it's amazing, it can be a challenging place to visit, and almost impossible to spell. In this video, I'll take you through my top 10 places to check out and share a few tips I picked up along the way. By the end, you'll know exactly where to go in Phnom Penh, even if you still can't spell it correctly. My name is Jeff. Welcome to Planet Bell. First stop, Phnom Penh's most iconic landmark, a palace fit for a king, literally. The Royal Palace is the official residence of Cambodia's monarch, and while the golden rooftops and manicured gardens looks ancient, most of what you see today was actually built between 1912 and 1932. It opens at 8 a.m. and tickets cost $10. Go early or wait until late afternoon. Otherwise, you'll end up flitting from shade patch to shade patch just trying not to melt. Keep an eye out for the real rulers of the grounds, the palace cats, who wander around like they own the place, because they kinda do. Right next to the Royal Palace and included with the same ticket is the sprawling Silver Pagoda. This Buddhist temple complex holds some of Cambodia's most important national treasures, including gold, emerald, and jewel-covered Buddhas, along with ornate stupas and statues scattered across the grounds. The outer walls are lined with faded murals, which give the whole place a quietly weathered feel. But the best part is the silence. The Silver Pagoda is one of the few genuinely peaceful places in Phnom Penh. Once you step inside, the tuk-tuks, construction noise, and general city chaos fade just enough that you can finally hear yourself think, which is a rare luxury in Phnom Penh. Next stop is the Tuol Sleng Genocide Museum, a former high school that the Khmer Rouge transformed into a prison and torture center. Entry is $5 plus another $5 for the audio guide, and you definitely want the audio guide. As you move through the classrooms turned cells, the stories you hear make the history feel close and uncomfortably real. The museum itself is minimalist. It doesn't dramatize anything, it simply presents what's left and lets your imagination fill in the rest. Walking past tiny brick cells, rusted bed frames, and the haunting photographs of victims, you get a very small sense of the terror people endured here. Inside, you'll see paintings by Van Nath, one of the few survivors of Tuol Sleng. The Khmer Rouge spared him so he could paint propaganda for Pol Pot, but after the regime fell, he painted what he actually saw. Scenes that are difficult to look at, but important not to ignore. South of Phnom Penh is the Choeung Genocide Museum, better known as the Killing Fields. Admission is $6 and the excellent audio guide is free. I recommend taking your time and listening to every story as you walk through the peaceful, tree-covered grounds. Today, the site looks like a quiet park, but from 1975 to 1979, this was the site of shocking, surrealistic violence. Tens of thousands of people were brought here and executed, often with farm tools because bullets were considered too expensive. They found mass graves of decapitated soldiers, naked women, and children who'd been smashed against a tree. The bodies were then tossed in mass graves and covered with DDT to hide the smell. Although the graves have been excavated and many victims identified, the past still makes itself known. During the rainy season, bone fragments and teeth sometimes rise to the surface, a stark reminder of the scale of the genocide. I recommend visiting Tuol Sleng and the Killing Fields on the same morning. It's heavy, and you'll want the afternoon to recover. As you might expect, learning about genocide stays with you, as it probably should. Alright, to counter all that sadness, let's head north to the Central Market for a little retail therapy and to hang out with some locals and see just how far this country has come. Phnom Penh's Central Market sits inside a bright yellow Art Deco building with a 26-meter high dome, the kind of building that instantly improves your mood just by seeing it. Under the main dome, the lighting gives everything a surprisingly dramatic look. Bright white display cases glowing under the cool, shaded interior of the dome itself. You can buy just about anything here, from souvenirs to a live duck. I picked up 2 t-shirts for $3 each, a deal so good I thought about only wearing souvenir t-shirts from now on, but my wife vetoed that idea. It's lively, noisy, and sweltering, but that's part of the fun. Wandering through the crowds of locals doing their daily shopping feels like stepping directly into the rhythm of the city. Not far from the market is Wat Phnom, a beautiful temple perched on a small hill. After you climb the steps to the top, the noise of traffic melts away and the diesel fumes are replaced with the smell of incense. It feels like the city takes a breath here and lets you take one too. According to legend, Wat Phnom was built in the 14th century to house Buddha statues discovered by a wealthy woman named Lady Pen. She found 4 statues inside a tree trunk that washed up on the banks of the Mekong River and placed them in a shrine on the hill. A monastery came later, and eventually, the hill gave Phnom Penh its name, literally, the Hill of Pen. Entry is just $1, and if you need cash, don't worry. People leave plenty of it lying around on the statues, but I hear taking it might be bad karma. Along the banks of the Mekong River is a 3-kilometer riverfront promenade known as Sisowath Quay. Out here you'll find locals hanging out, enjoying street food, and Hitchcockian swarms of pigeons that seem completely unbothered by humans. They could rise up and take over the city at any moment. I really don't trust them. Like most things in Phnom Penh, it's best visited early in the morning or late in the afternoon when the tropical sun isn't actively trying to melt you. The promenade is also one of the best places in the city for a long run or a long walk, mostly because the regular sidewalks are less sidewalks and more tricky obstacle courses. If you stick around for sunset, you can hop onto one of the many river cruises that putter along the Mekong. It's a peaceful ride and gives you a low, slow, dolphin's eye view of the city. Next stop is the Tuol or Russian Market. The Central Market is all fancy in its Art Deco building, while the Russian Market resides in more humble digs and is arguably the more vibrant of the two. The Russian Market is a labyrinth of clothes, housewares, electronics, and of course amazing food. I had a bowl of noodles here and ate it way too close to the vendor. I got some extra flavor from splattering grease from her stir fry. Even better, she kept popping more vegetables and pouring more broth into my bowl. Sometimes it pays to have a front row seat. After a full day of touring the city, head over to Bassac Lane for a little bohemian nightlife. The compact neighborhood is packed with funky bars, international restaurants, and a couple of 420 friendly spots, which you'll easily find if your nose is even moderately functional. Bassac Lane feels a bit like a walking street on a Thai island, with locals, expats, and tourists all sipping beers in tiny boutique bars while music from 3 different speakers competes for your attention. It's noisy, it's fun, and it's perfectly fitting for Phnom Penh, a city that thrives on being just a little chaotic. Before we get to number 10, here's a quick pro tip. When you're in Phnom Penh, take the time to slow down. The heat and the chaos can sneak up on you, and sometimes the best thing you can do is find a quiet place to reset. Maybe that's getting a manicure, maybe it's taking a nap, or maybe it's finding a hotel pool. Many places will let you swim for free if you order something from their restaurant. There are massage shops everywhere, but keep an eye on the reviews. A few are notorious for theft, which can ruin the whole relaxation vibe. Number 10 on the list isn't a destination, it's an experience. To truly appreciate Phnom Penh, you need to walk its streets without a plan. Talk to locals, try whatever street food catches your eye, and drink the sugary iced coffees that seem to power the entire city. The streets here are intensely alive, and they smell like everything all at once. Frying garlic, grilling meats, incense, diesel fumes, burning trash, raw sewage, and urine. It's an unreal combination in an unforgettable place. As you wander, duck into the narrow back alleys for a glimpse of daily life, and don't forget to look up. The city might seem like visual anarchy at first glance, but architectural gems are hidden everywhere. Phnom Penh is a little off the beaten path, but if you're looking for another underrated destination in Asia, check out my video on the top things to do in Oman. It's a country full of surprises.